Hello, this is a special intro to this episode of the podcast. I just want to say that we get into spoilers for Far From Home in this episode, so if you haven't seen it, probably don't listen to this episode, but we mainly talk about the spoilers at the start. So there are time codes in the description if you want to skip ahead past the bit where we talk about the movie. Yeah, just skip ahead. It's in your hands, or just don't listen to the episode. That's also fine. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Peter Palmer podcast, where we attempt to read every issue of the Amazing Spider-Man week-oo by week.
Week-oo by week.
So you can be a Spider-Man expert as well. I always do this without checking the levels. It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
It's just fine.
My name is Mike, and with me, as always, is my co-host.
Sammy!
Yeah.
It's pronounced like that. Sammy!
You have to say it exactly like that.
Sammy!
Sammy!
Yeah,
what did you do this week? Sammy!
I moved into my new house.
Okay.
Which was fun. It's been exactly a week since I've moved in now.
Oh, exciting stuff. I also moved, but not to a new place, to an old place. There you go. Decipher that, audience.
Exactly.
DM us, Thomas, if you want to learn our life details. Speaking of Thomas, he actually messaged us directly right off the bat. Because
nice.
he was talking to me about Scrollmendo from a particular Marvel film.
Yes.
I'm not going to say which one. But I asked him if he has any words of wisdom for this week's episode of the podcast.
Speaking words of wisdom, let
it be. And he said, don't do drugs, which I think we've got that
What's the context?
Got that covered. Of what?
Don't do drugs, because you can do drugs, but like...
We just said drugs, so just don't do drugs.
What kind of drugs?
None of them.
What if I want a paracetamol?
Then, okay, we'll ask Thomas.
Am I allowed to have a paracetamol?
Yep. And we have to wait till next week for his response instead of just messaging him directly.
Die between then and now.
And he said, is Mysterio really dead? Oh shit, we should have said spoilers.
We should have.
Far From Home.
It's a bit late.
I'll put a spoiler warning at the start.
Yeah, bleep it out.
I'll do like a little Tom Holland pre-show thing where he goes like,
yeah.
So if you're going to listen to this podcast, make sure you've seen Spider-Man Far From Home in cinemas now.
In cinemas now.
I'll do something like that.
Can I go home now, guys?
That's Captain America.
Yeah.
But he said, is Mysterio really dead in Far From Home? I'm assuming. And he says, will there be a Spider-Man into the Jameson-verse movie? So I'll definitely have to put a spoiler warning now.
Yeah.
Because the Jameson thing.
That's definitely
a big spoiler.
A big old spoiler, yeah.
Yeah. So what he says elaborate. What do you reckon about those things? Is Mysterio really dead?
Yes.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Because I think...
Fuck you.
Oh, hang on. I was going to say, because if they're planning a Sinister Six film, I reckon they'll definitely put Mysterio in there.
Well, then how do you... Okay, I guess I could explain it retroactively.
Yeah, it was just a hologram again.
It's another CG.
Even though he said, is this real? He said that, didn't he?
Yeah.
He wanted to make sure it was real. Like, that could be anyone. That could be Tobey Maguire in a beard.
I hope it is.
Oi, oi.
Oi, oi. No, I love...
So to answer that question, I think Mysterio is still alive, kind of.
Kind of?
They'll do something. They'll pull him from actual multiverse this time.
They would.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
This time he's like, I'm from this Earth. And then the twist is that he's from the multiverse.
He's actually from the multiverse. They'll just do a full troll on the audience.
I thought the Mysterio twist was going to be more clever because they kept talking it up that way. But it's literally just what everyone expected from the trailer.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's lying about the multiverse. He's really just doing holograms and illusions.
I like how, that whole multiverse thing just, like, basically fizzled away.
You're a bit far from the mic, by the way, sorry.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh. The whole multiverse, oh god.
Oh, you don't have to touch it, just like...
The whole multiverse theory and everybody's fan theories is basically just redundant now because there's no such thing.
Yeah, unless there is. You know, you never know.
You never know.
There's, what's it called? There's splitting timelines. We saw that in Endgame.
Yes.
And there's quantum realms. Why can't there be a multiverse, you know?
Yes.
Well, that ties into his next question anyway. Will there be a Spider-Man Into the Jameson verse movie? What do you reckon? Where it's just all J.K. Simmons all the time. It's like being John Malkovich.
Being John Malkovich,
Yeah, like
but
that-
J.K. Simmons.
That one scene in Being John Malkovich.
Malkovich. Except it's Simmons.
Fun fact, John Malkovich was going to be in Spider-Man 4 as the Vulture. I think I've told you this before.
Oh my God, yeah, you have. Imagine the missed opportunity.
Yeah, there's concept art of it. It looks good. Whereas it's storyboards, something like that. But I've seen it.
I hope there is. And I hope that it's called Being Jonathan Kimball.
Oh, the Jameson verse movie.
Yeah.
Being Jonathan Kimball. But that'd be just being J.K. Simmons. Also, it's like Being John Malkovich.
Yeah.
Where it's about... No, that's not... That's what adaptation's about. I'm getting these movies confused. Yeah.
Nice.
Being John Malkovich takes place in the real world because it's got John Malkovich in it. In it.
In it.
The sequel to Ant-Man in it.
In it. Imagine if they made a Red Dead Redemption movie.
I don't want to watch that. It's just a Western. Just watch a Western movie.
Just play Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. I don't want to see video game movies anymore.
What if they make it good, though?
They can't. They've proven they can't.
They've proven it. Oh, that's sad.
Only one I think they should make, again, is Super Mario Brothers, but make it stupid.
Booper Mario Brothers.
Make it smart stupid, though, not like the one they did in the 90s.
Where it's genuinely just stupid.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about the premise, I'm like, okay, it's about an Italian plumber that goes into the underground and like fights all these like magic... What does he fight? He fights like these mushroom dudes. I could get behind that.
Sorry?
And turtles? How good would that be? Just a journey into the underground. Like he's a plumber and he's working on this house one day and he just falls through.
That's sick. But is he with Luigi or is it just him?
Just him.
Okay, so it's not Super Mario Brothers, it's just Super Mario.
Oh, maybe. Okay, fine. Luigi can be there too.
Fine. Fucking hell. Luigi can be there
But
too,
Luigi,
I guess.
Luigi will be played by...
No, I want a Luigi's Haunted Mansion movie. Where a plumber goes to like fix the plumbing. His name is Luigi. He goes to fix the plumbing in the house, but it's haunted. So he has to like fend off all these ghosts and stuff.
Hey, you can have a Mario cinematic universe.
Yeah. So that's the first movie is the Super Mario. Then second movie is Luigi's Haunted Mansion. And then you got to tie it in with Princess Peach somehow and Bowser and everything.
Oh yeah, they'll do the female spin-off 20 years down the line when there's enough demand for it. Or they do it right off the bat because it's time for that now.
Wait, so is Bowser like the equivalent of Thanos?
Yep. They'll do Mario Infinity War.
Nice.
Can you imagine a Mario cinematic universe? Same way the MCU has done?
No.
They do a Mario movie, a Luigi movie, Princess Peach. Then they do Super Mario Brothers. That's like the Avengers.
The Super Mario Brothers is the Avengers. But then they like
Bowser.
tie in like it ties in with like the Sonic movies because
Donkey
like
Kong.
Yeah, Donkey Kong, like the Sega and like Nintendo.
Yeah, Donkey
thing.
Kong's the Hulk.
They make like a Link movie. Link can be like the equivalent of Spider-Man because he's young.
Okay. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
How did we get to that from Thomas asking about J. Jonah Jameson?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Because Spider-Verses and stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyways, this brings us to the segment we like to call...
This is the movie segment with Sammy and Mike. This is the movie segment. Hanging tight, my boy. That's enough of that.
Movie segment. What did you watch this week? Sammy! Or have you said it before?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Hold on.
You watched more than me. Should I go through what I watched first?
Yeah, you
I
go
didn't
through
watch
what
much.
you watched first.
We watched Into the... what's it called? Far From Home. I almost called it Into the Spider-Verse. There's too many Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, there really is.
We watched Far From Home. We did a full review on it, so we don't want to talk about that much. But I guess updates on our thoughts. Do you have any?
I want to watch it again because me and Mike have come to this conclusion that I think we have... I had a crisis yesterday while I was at work because I realized that I was a bit hard on my review of Far From Home and thinking about it because it's gotten to a boiling point, honestly, for superhero and comic book movies for me this year.
There was too many this year.
It's been 6 months of the year and there's been more than my fingers can count. So I think...
Outside of Marvel, like DC and other properties.
Everything. And it's just like, I think it's boiled over for me. And Far From Home was the straw on the camel's back. The last straw on the camel's back that just broke it. And yeah, there you go. So I think I have to revisit it with an open and clear mind and just be like, let me think. Yeah, let me just. Yeah.
Well, I started watching other people's reviews and stuff, and it made me remember, like, oh, I did like that scene. I was like, oh, that's a different perspective on the stuff I didn't like. So I want to go in with fresh ears and eyes.
Yeah.
There's a good video where someone was talking about, like, I forgot what they're saying, but pretty much talking about how it just portrays the Parker luck very well in that movie.
Yeah, it does. Hey.
Like every time something's going right for him, something goes wrong. He's like, that damn Parker luck.
I wish he said that.
Yeah.
The damn Parker luck.
And I don't know, the things we were saying in our review that we didn't like, I was thinking about it, I'm like, oh, I guess they did do that, but just differently. Like how there's no consequences to Peter's actions, but there technically are, because the whole thing's about how his vacation's ruined by him.
True, yeah, he never got to like enjoy his vacation.
Yeah. And also he didn't, I don't know.
Also, we were tired when we were doing that review.
Yeah. We weren't tired when we saw the movie though.
Hey, you speak for yourself.
Oh, okay. I wasn't tired when I saw the movie.
No.
And yeah, I don't know, but there's also things I was thinking about. I'm like, that wasn't very good. Like the third act.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, looking through all the MCU movies, it's probably my least favorite third act in any of these movies.
Okay.
Captain Marvel's third act was pretty whack as well. I'm just talking about like the battle.
Okay.
Because usually like that's one of the better parts of these movies.
Yeah.
But it was just Spider-Man swinging around.
It was really boring. It was just,
a grey area.
And it was visually like
fighting drones that were white.
Compared to the CGI battle he had with Mysterio, where he's like hallucinating him. Yeah, it's way less compelling visually. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, there's stuff I did like. I was remembering like some of the jokes. I'm like, that was a good little gag. And yeah, I think I'll just have to watch it again, because I saw an interview with John Watts where he's talking about that section at the start they cut. Because you know how we're talking about that?
Okay, so you saw an interview. What did he say?
Yeah, and he said like basically none of that stuff was pushing forward the story. It was just Spider-Man. It was like the whole thing was Peter Parker had like a to-do list of 3 things. And it was like pick up his passport, get a headphone adapter from Mr. Delmore's, and then third one was take down a crime gang.
Oh, and that's why the movie starts so suddenly with the whole my plan. Like, remember how it starts where he just literally sits down at the cafeteria and then he goes, okay, I have everything I need for my plan. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and I assume there was like a little bit they cut from that dialogue where he's like, but I have to get my to-do list done first.
Yeah.
Then after that, he would have been like, okay, get my headphone jack.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing I said?
The passport. And then
at night he has to take down a crime syndicate.
Yeah.
And then I assume
I like that.
He's like, I have to go back to the homeless shelter.
I like all that,
it would have fit in
though.
there. Yeah, it's very Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see it on the Blu-ray, because it has finished VFX and everything.
Yeah,
so
it would have just
been
like zooped out of the film.
Yeah, it would have been a late addition.
Yeah.
Or late subtraction.
Not addition, yeah.
Yeah, but John Watts said like he doesn't miss the scene because it didn't feel like it was progressing the story. But
fuck, he was holding a gun to his head.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm kidding.
But at the same time, I was like, yeah, but because we hadn't seen that in the movie before.
No, yeah.
It feels like there's something missing there.
It does. It definitely does.
Maybe that's just us, because everyone else is like, it's the best Spider-Man movie I've ever seen.
We like Spider-Man too much.
It's the best Spider-Man movie because it portrays young romance, and Spider-Man is very young. He's just like a kid.
Everybody loves... Have you noticed that everyone's been loving this MJ?
Yeah, I thought it would be the opposite.
Yeah, me too.
I thought everyone didn't like her in the last one.
I thought it would be everyone wouldn't like her very much, but everyone's been the exact opposite. Everyone's like, I love this MJ. And it's gone so far that I've seen on threads and stuff people comparing MJ to Zendaya MJ to Kirsten Dunst MJ, and everyone's calling Kirsten Dunst MJ's a bitch and shallow and selfish and stuff. I was like, oh my God, like what the hell?
Well, it's easy to understand like why they think that. Yeah.
But it makes sense. I don't know. It's like, why would you stay with someone who's treating you like shit, kind of, you know?
Yeah. People watch view movies through their own experiences.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess.
true. And their own biases and own life. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you watch Spider-Man 2 from a different perspective, it's kind of like, oh, she's being unfair.
yeah.
But from her point of view, it's like Peter Parker's been
Unfair to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he is at some points. He's like, wait, why can't we just be together? And she's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? You haven't given me any reason to.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that line where he's like, why don't we just get back on the horse? And she's like, we were never on the horse, mate.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oof, that hurt. That hurt, dude. That shit hurted.
But yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home. It was alright. I want to watch it again sometime soon. We watched Magic Mike XXL last week, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
You hadn't seen it before. I'd seen it. Funny enough.
No, this is my first time watching it, and goddamn, did I love it.
It's good.
That movie is pleasing for the eye in more ways than the most obvious one.
I'd rather watch that one than the first one.
I haven't seen the first one.
First one feels like a movie I'd seen before.
Okay.
Where it's like kind of like a boogie night scenario, I usually say. Because it's like Magic Mike takes this young dude into the stripping world and he teaches him the ropes.
Oh, who's the young dude?
I can't remember. Some generic guy. Yeah, that spans over a period of time. But this one's just a road trip movie. It's Channing Tatum and the gang get back together and go on a road trip. And Childish Gambino's in it. And it's just hanging out with characters for a few hours. And it's a good time.
Nice.
Yep. Magic Mike XXL.
XXL. Yeah, I haven't seen the first one, but I really did like the second one, XXL. We watched it. It's got amazing cinematography.
Yeah, adopted by Steven Soderbergh.
Yes, the
who directed
editing's
the first
really good
one.
Too.
Editing, yeah.
The
I like
plot
how
is just so quaint and I love it. It's just a road trip movie.
yeah, I like how Steven Soderbergh shoots his movies. Does every scene in like just a few shots.
Yeah, it doesn't overcomplicate anything.
Where you can see everything just clearly. And he's like, I don't need 50 insert shots for no reason.
Exactly. Anyway.
Yeah.
I watched yesterday. Or do you have something else to watch?
Only other thing I watched was two other things.
Yeah.
Anima, the Paul Thomas Anderson music video.
Oh,
Tom
I watched
York.
that too, Anima.
Yeah.
I love
was
that.
good.
That was so cool.
Good
That's
little
right up my
visuals.
alley.
If you like PTA and Radiohead going.
If you like Tom York, who looks like Sads Mikkelsen. I don't know. I love it so much because I have a thing for performance art, and it's what I
it was good.
used to do back in like my high school days. Is something I was really into.
I like the bit where they're on the slanty floor, but it looks like it's a flat floor and they're falling.
Yeah, it's really cool. And like even the beginning bit, my favorite part is actually the opening bit where they're all
on the train.
On the train going like this. That's my favorite thing. I used to like choreograph stuff like that in my drama class in high school and stuff.
Those are my favorite kinds of music videos where it's just like a nice visual concept.
Yeah, exactly. But it also tells a story, weirdly enough. Like, I love that. That's just, I don't know. It's ingrained in my head from like when I was young. I don't know, like performance art and like, well, I forget the actual name for it.
I can't remember.
But it was my subject in drama, and I wanted to pursue that. But hey, look, it didn't work out. I'm doing films now instead.
Well, that generation of filmmakers like PTA and Spike Jonze and all those dudes all made really good music videos.
Yeah.
Like Michelle Gondry.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was Spike Jonze or Michelle Gondry did that one where it's Christopher Walken and he's flying around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's also, they always had like really like simple concepts, but they were done like really polished.
Executed it so well. Yeah.
And the guys who did Swiss Army Man do good music videos too. Daniels.
Oh, yeah.
They've done so many and they're all really creative.
Nice.
There's that Michelle Gondry one where it's like, it's just a CGI train going past, but like everything goes past is like on the beat or on a note. Yeah. So like, we'll go past like a row of 3 like posts and it'll be like, doot.
I love that.
And it's just like a long beat. It'll be like a long, what do you call it? Like electrical
post
or something. I'm like, zoom. It's
That's
really nice.
So cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Simple, but like very effective.
I love a good music vid.
We watched Sherlock Holmes.
Not really.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, I'd seen it before. Did you? You probably watched it more than I did.
Yeah, I properly watched it. Yeah.
Okay.
What
do you think of it? I remember enjoying it when I saw it, but I haven't properly watched it since.
No, yeah, I think
Probably whenever the second one came out.
I low-key kind of like the Guy Ritchie like style,
Yeah.
what he does in his films. I know people like to hate on it and stuff.
No, well, my thing is that he doesn't do it anymore. You watch
Yeah.
Aladdin and there's no Guy Ritchie in it.
No, there isn't.
There's a few bits where he speeds up the footage.
Yeah.
And that's it.
No, I love his whole like. Maybe he stopped doing it because people like were like, I don't.
Maybe
like it.
Man from U.N.C.L.E. is good. It has less Guy Ritchie-ness in it, but it's still
wanna
pretty
watch
good.
That, so I haven't seen it, Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah.
But
Have you seen his older movies like Snatch
no,
and Lock, Stock?
I've seen his King Arthur movie.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that.
I liked that, but not in the way where I was like, I was really into it. I liked it because I was just
Yeah.
like, this is cool. Like, that's really it. That's
Seems
all
like it would be.
had to it for
Guy
me.
Ritchie movies for me, like whenever I watch them, like that was good, but for some reason they have this weird thing where they just escape my memory instantly. Like I can't tell you what happens in Snatch, but I've seen it like 3 times.
Yeah, I can't tell you what happened in Sherlock Holmes besides the fact that he hung himself at the end, but he really
That's what I always say. Whenever we bring up that movie, I'm like, oh, it's the one where he hangs himself at the end.
Yeah, it's the most memorable bit. And also, like,
And
Jude
when he
Law
does
was barely used in that movie.
I like the bit where he does the
Slaps the big guy in the head.
Yeah, he's going through
Everything that he's about to do in like a split second.
Yeah, he's going through all the moves he wants to do on this guy.
Execute. Yeah, that's so
And then he does it
cool.
like tuk, 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 tuk,
Yeah, so sick.
pretty fun. I think he does that again in the second one. I can't remember. I remember the second one being better.
Yeah.
It has Moriarty in it.
Oh.
And they have a mind fight.
Yeah, I was like, there was no bad guy in that film. Well, there was, but I can't
Yeah, Mark
remember.
Strong. He's
Yeah,
the bad guy in everything.
Yeah, he is. He was
But,
Sans Undertale.
Yeah, the second one they have a mind fight. I'm pretty sure they're sitting like at a chess table or something. But then they have a fight in their mind and they're punching and getting thrown off cliffs. But I don't think that's actually happening. It's all in their mind.
That sounds like something from like the Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, where he's like got text flying over his head. And he's like,
Someone told me to watch that. No, it was Josh. He was like, you should watch
yeah, everyone's been saying
Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock. And I was like, no. Have you seen that scene where he's like throwing words around? He goes, but it's good. I'm like, no, it's not. That shit's cringy.
Yeah, but they use the like default Adobe font.
Yeah, it looks so cringy.
I don't know. People say that show's good. I've seen one episode when it first came out and I never watched the rest.
I should probably actually watch it, not just like base it on one out of context scene. But hey, you know
Each season only has 3 episodes, but they're all feature length.
Okay, that's kind of cool. I do like that.
Yeah, so it's like 3 movies per season.
I personally really like that. It's actually made me want to watch it more.
So it's pretty much just like Sherlock Holmes TV movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that your grandma turns on like, oh, it's just Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock
But in the modern day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I rewatched Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
And that was, it was, probably as bad as good as I remember it was.
It's bad.
It wasn't bad.
I liked it when she went through the character customization scene.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She did that. It's a very anticlimactic way for her to get her suit.
Yeah.
Which is just like, wait, pick my colors for me, girl.
And then the girl does America colors.
Yep, because she's America.
Yep.
Do I have any new thoughts on Captain Marvel? I guess I liked different things about it and I disliked different things that I did the first time, I suppose.
Okay.
I liked Brie Larson this time.
Yeah.
Skrull Mendo is still the best thing to ever happen to the MCU.
He's the best thing to happen to anyone ever.
Elizabeth's so funny.
Yeah.
Where it's like, they're talking about, oh, can you shapeshift into this? Can you shapeshift into a filing cabinet? And he's like, wow, why would I shapeshift to a filing cabinet? Yeah, it's funny. There's the bit where he walks in wearing like a blazer and he's sipping like a drink. And he's like, oh, you should be nicer to your neighbours. Never know when you need to borrow some tea. And he takes a sip of his drink.
That's great.
He's good.
Yeah.
And the Sam Jackson CGI de-aged is good.
Yes.
You know how they do that effect? They just have to go frame by frame and pull like all the folds in his face until it smooths out.
Really?
It's a really complicated process.
That's weird.
It's like a CGI facelift pretty much. That's all it is.
Literally what it is.
There's no actual like texture mapping and stuff. It's all just like
they literally give him
smoothing the face.
a facelift frame by frame.
Yeah.
That's
I think it's frame by frame where they do like a like a map of his face.
And then it kind of renders it, and then they fix up the
They still have to do it frame by
imperfections.
frame, though.
Yeah.
It's like when you rotoscope.
Yeah.
The program kind of picks up on it for you, but you still have to fix up
There's
the little
still
bits.
a lot of imperfections, yeah.
Yeah, that effect's it's pretty good. I feel like Coulson doesn't look as good, though. I don't know why. Maybe they spent all their time on Sam Jackson.
Yeah, they
There's probably more
would've.
footage to reference.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Because the only 90s movie I remember Coulson being in is like The Usual Suspects, I think. I think he was in
He's
that.
in that?
He was in one of those movies like that. Because I remember watching one of those movies and I was like, oh, that's him.
I don't remember him
I don't
being in
think-
movies before.
Maybe it wasn't
Avengers.
Usual Suspects, it was something else. But he was like a doctor and something. I'm going to look it up. What's his name? Jack? No, what's his name?
Agent Coulson. Is
Phil Coulson, the actor. Clark Gregg.
that his name?
Yeah, Clark
He's got
Gregg.
the most fucking white name. Clark
I know.
Gregg.
I
He's
never
got
trust a guy where it's a
two
first name
first
twice.
names, yeah, as a name.
Well,
Clark.
it's
Gregg.
Robert Clark Gregg, so it's even worse.
It's 3 first names. Robert Clark and
Why isn't he called Robert Gregg? I guess that's dumb, isn't it?
Robert Gregg.
Robert Gregg.
Rob Gregg. That sounds so fucking British for some reason.
Robert Gregg. What if he is? No, he's not.
He sounds so English. Rob
Well, he's in
Gregg.
the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show.
As Agent Coulson?
Yeah,
All right.
that's weird. He's in 500 Days of Summer, dude.
I don't remember him being in that
Oh,
movie.
I remember him being in that, but I don't remember what he was.
I don't remember.
Because every time I watch it, I'm like,
being
oh, him, that guy. Oh, what's this movie I thought he was in? Usual Suspects, I said. Oh, he's in Magnolia. Maybe that's the movie. The movie I was telling you about before, Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
3 hours. He's in that. Good on him.
Magnolia. That's a flower.
It is. I don't know why I thought he was in Usual Suspects. Some movie. Oh, he's in Mr. Popper's Penguins. Oh, he is in The Usual Suspects. Sorry, I scrolled past it. There you go.
Jesus
I was right. That was very long for no
Got him.
reason.
Got him good.
Yeah, Cat Marvel's the only thing I watched. Oh, did I say enough? What else did I like? I liked not much actually.
Oh God.
It's very
That's when we end that conversation.
everything's very like serviceable. There's
Yeah.
nothing I was like that's so good except Scrollmendo.
Wait for the second one. I'm sure it'll be better.
Yeah, just even the sets. Even the sets are usually good in these Marvel movies, but the sets in this they look like laser tag. And it's funny because there's even a scene later on where someone says, "Oh, there's a woman running around, look like she's dressed for laser tag," and I'm like, "Yeah, because her home planet looks like laser tag."
Looks like laser tag.
Like
Oh
the
yeah,
bit where she's fighting Jude Law in the hallway. I'm like,
yeah.
this just looks like,
Time
which-
zone.
yeah, like the posts. They just look like, what do you call them? Like 3D printed, like castings and stuff. It's like,
3D printed.
not 3D printed, but like, yeah, like plaster,
Yeah.
like movie set
Plasticine.
stuff.
Yeah.
And the scroll ships look so boring. The floor is just like a floor. It looks like this
It's just a
old
floor.
old Star Trek episodes.
Oh, where it's just like the most simple, like, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not in like a cutesy, quaint, kind of retro looking way. It looks just like cheap TV. That's what it. That's the best way I can
awful.
say it. It looks like a
Yeah,
TV
should
show.
not be looking like that.
Yeah, I assume they didn't get the end game budget.
Obviously not.
And the directors, they're
okay.
from TV, aren't they?
Are they?
I'm pretty sure because I don't think I've seen many movies they've done. And one thing I know, this is just a stupid camera nerd thing, that they didn't shoot on anamorphic even though it's cropped to look like it is. And the way you can tell is the lens flares, because anamorphic lens flares, they're like a horizontal strip,
Yeah.
but whenever there's a lens flare in this, it was like a flare, like a full like thing. I'm
Wait,
like,
did they say they shot on anamorphic?
they didn't say they did, but like it's cropped
Oh,
to make
so
it look like it is.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. So it made me think
Why?
like, maybe just, if you're not shooting it proper anamorphic, just don't.
Just don't do that.
Yeah. Well, I guess they did that for Endgame because that was all shot IMAX. And then
Yeah.
when it was released here, it was cropped for anamorphic.
Yeah. Oh God.
But I don't know. Maybe just make it look a little nicer, please.
Nah, you're asking for too much, mate.
I know. I'm sure they put a lot of work into storyboarding and doing the lighting setups. Just for me to say, it didn't look very good, did it?
I mean, that's all movies.
But all that stuff's superficial.
Yeah.
And not superficial, subjective. That's what I meant to say. Someone could
It's all
watch,
superficial.
someone could watch that movie and be like, Captain Marvel's the best looking movie.
Yeah, they could say that, but do they mean it? I don't know.
Yeah, people think these new Spider-Mans look better than the old ones.
Ooh, that's a disagreeable topic, but
And I'd say TASM 2 looks pretty good. You know that one?
yeah, it's Amazing
it's
Spider-Man
shot in film.
2.
It's got nice lighting,
Yeah,
mixed coloured temperatures.
exactly.
Got Electro in Times Square.
It at least plays with some interesting like lighting and visual stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, and the CGI stuff didn't look jarring when it cut to it. It all
No,
looked
it
consistent
didn't look like, whoa, what the fuck?
to an extent. Any other movies you watched?
I watched yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's
that
right.
Beatles movie. It was a nice little rom-com flick. Supernatural elements. I liked how it didn't do the thing in like those kinds of movies where at the end it like, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, if you care anyway, but where it like reverts everything back to normal and then they learn their lesson, then they got to go back to their normal life and be like, I love you, because they learnt the lesson in like their fake life. No,
Okay.
they didn't do that in the movie, which I thought was really cool. He has to actually learn the lesson. It has like repercussions and stuff, like everything, all the decisions he makes.
Good. Was it very Danny Boyle-y?
Yeah, it is. The editing and the cinematography is so interesting. There's a lot of Dutch angles, but not in a weird way, like in Thor, Dark World, like where it's just like, oh, that's a Dutch angle.
Thor 1. You always say Thor Dark World.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, but it's like interesting because it's like traveling camera but Dutch angle, and like, yeah, it like has a reason to be there because obviously the whole like weird supernatural like element to the plot. Yeah.
Sounds like Steve Jobs.
Really?
But not the supernatural element.
Oh, okay. I was about to say what?
But the way he said the cinematography.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Jobs.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, they did some interesting editing things too with like title cards and stuff in that movie. So yeah, I suggest watching yesterday. I think you'll like it. It has a really simple plot and like it's cute and
It's Richard Curtis.
yeah.
Sounds like About Time. Have you seen About Time? Other movie
I know of it though.
Richard Curtis did with Donald Gleason's
Donald
like
Gleason, yeah.
he finds out his family
Can time
can
travel.
time travel. Yeah,
Hasn't that got a Skarsgård in it?
probably they all have a Skarsgård in it.
In it. Anyway,
And Bill Nighy is his dad.
Bill Nighy.
Yeah. I just pronounce it like that because when I say Bill Nye, people think I'm talking about the science guy. Like, no, this
So no, yeah.
British actor, Bill Nighy.
What else did I watch? I watched The Fundamentals of Caring on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice little film.
I've seen that before.
It made me do the big old cry.
I like the bit where they have to go up the stairs.
I love that bit, to see the cow, and then like the payoff is like so brilliant. Like they stand there and there's like the full shot, doesn't cut away from it or anything. They're just staring at the cow and he goes, yeah, I'm done. And then they have to like push him down the stairs again. It's really good. I really like
That's the one bit I remember.
Performance from the kid character. He doesn't actually have muscle.
No, I think I've seen him in
degeneration or
something
whatever.
before.
Yeah, he's a British actor. But no, he did really well portraying that, I think, and him and Paul Rudd had really good chemistry.
What does he have again? Just cerebral palsy or something?
No. He's got a muscle degenerative disorder, so it's
one of those.
I forget exactly which one, but it's like he wouldn't live past 30 if he's lucky. Or something.
That was scary.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, when you watch Fundamentals of Caring, every time the characters prank each other, they're really just pranking you.
Kind of like Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah, literally. No, which I liked because there was many moments in the film I was like, oh God, no. And then they're like, ah, I'm like, oh God.
I can't remember any of that.
Yeah.
I watched it whenever it first was dropped on Netflix and I was like, Paul Rudd.
2016.
Paul Rudd in a movie that's kind of like Little Miss Sunshine, but not really.
It's got Selena Gomez in it too.
Oh, does it?
Cool. Yeah.
I don't remember this movie very well.
No, you should
I just remember the bit with the stairs. This is what I'm like with movies.
Yeah, I just remember one scene.
I don't remember how they start or end. I just remember like a specific scene.
Like a gag
But it's not even like an important scene. It's just like some scene. Like the bit where he hangs himself in Sherlock Holmes.
But that's at the end.
That's not how it ends though. There's like
No.
extra bit after that and I always thought that was the ending.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's that other movie you watched?
I watched Never Let Me Go, starring Andrew Garfield, Carey Mulligan, and Keira Knightley.
Oh yeah, that one movie I always try to watch, but I haven't watched. I always fall
Nice.
asleep.
It released in
Not because it's a
2010.
bad movie.
Andrew Garfield looks like a little babby in the first section of this movie. They like did really well to like de-age him, not like CGI or anything, but make him look really
why
young.
didn't they do that in the Spider-Man films?
I think because the Spider-Man films came out in like 2015, so it's like
No,
2013.
2012 is when the first one came out. It was
Really?
shot in 20.
Oh, I say
2010,
2015
2011.
because I was into Amazing Spider-Man 2 when I was 15.
Okay.
That's when I was like, or 14, 15, I think. So I don't know.
I remember they announced MCU Spider-Man pretty soon after Amazing
They
Spider-Man
did.
2. I was pretty shocked how
Yeah.
quick that was.
Yeah,
It was like the next year in January or something.
it was. And then they did the casting
Yeah, pretty quick after that too.
Yeah.
I remember they cast Tom Holland and John Watts like the same day.
Yeah.
When
It
no one was
was-
talking about John Watts, they're like, "Oh, Tom Holland,
Tom
this new
Holland,
kid. Look at his
yeah.
Instagram. He does a backflip."
Mm.
I remember those
Everyone-
days when no
yeah.
one knew who he was.
Yeah, no one knew who he was, but his Instagram blew up, and that's what it was like. Because that's all that anybody knew of him, because he posted so much on there.
Yeah, with him backflipping.
And he had a girlfriend back then. And I remember looking at his Instagram being like, damn it, like he has a girlfriend. No, he doesn't now, obviously. And he deleted all those posts. So there you go.
Obviously.
Obviously.
We know Tom Holland. He loves his lotion.
And a lot of commotion, apparently. So yeah, Never Let Me Go. I really liked this film.
What's it about? I actually don't know what it's about.
It's
I've never got
about
that far.
it's basically a coming of age film with a really fucked up undertone, like a plot where it's like they grow up together. It's a coming of age film, but they're all connected by this one horrible, inevitable thing in their lives where they have to harvest their organs. They have to donate their vital organs. They are harvested for medicine, and it's kind of implied throughout the whole movie that they're not human, that they're clones or something like that, because they're constantly questioned whether they have souls or whether they love and everything by like other people, and they don't really question that because I think they know, like, because obviously they all love each other. These three characters, they've grown up together, and wow, yeah, like they're all three performances from the main actors in there are just so good. Andrew Garfield especially blows me away. He does his Andrew Garfield thing where he like
does the cry.
Yeah,
does
he
the Andrew
does.
Garfield cry.
Yeah, he does the Andrew Garfield cry, and then he screams. He like flails his arm and screams.
Oh, now I want to watch it just for that.
Yeah, it's so good. Like that scene, I got full head to toe goosebumps. I was like, God damn!
He does that in every movie. He's a
he does his cry.
Social Network.
Yeah,
Mark.
You know, where he asks it. Oh yeah, what's the thing? He's like, how many shares do you have? Now, how many do I have?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a good scene.
Is this movie based on a book, Never Let Me Go?
Yeah, it's based on I think it's based on a Japanese book. I don't know, or British or
A
English.
manga.
No, I don't think so.
I think it's based on some book, probably by a YouTuber.
Yeah. Anyway, this movie gave me existential dread, so there you go.
Nice. Sounds perfect.
Sounds
Is that
perfect.
any other movies or things?
I think that's it. Oh, well, I watched Legion. I watched the first episode again last night. I'm meaning to finish the first season, so hopefully it'll be done by the next time we record.
Yeah, then we can watch season 2.
And I watched Stranger Things 3.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
All of
which
it?
I enjoyed to some extent. Like, no, I liked it. I liked, like, the characters, obviously, is, like, the only good thing to me in these. No, like, genuinely. The characters are the only good thing to me in Stranger Things. I think that's what a lot of people watch it for, is for the characters. Because, like, the bad guys and, like, the threats and the plot are just so, like...
It's really standard.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's, like, substandard. It's like
this.
arbitrary as fuck, and like the law doesn't make sense at all, and like they keep bringing in these like weird like extra things each season to like kind of hint to like who the bad guy is or why this is all happening, but it just confuses the plot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the creature design's not that good either.
No,
like when you
it's really
finally saw it in
uninspired.
season 1, I was like,
Yeah.
that's it.
It's uninspired as heck.
And it's CGI as well. I'm like, isn't this whole thing meant to be like a retro 80s aesthetic?
Exactly.
And there's this CGI demon.
Yeah, that's basically, it gets more like that every season.
Great.
But my definitive ranking of Stranger Things seasons is 1, 3, and 2. 2 sucked, so sorry everyone. It didn't suck. Okay, I'm sorry. I should stop saying that because it triggers people. It was not my favorite. I didn't mean it when I said
I
it
remember
sucked.
watching season 2. I'm like, what is that? Like,
Yeah, just literally
it just
like
plods along.
yeah, it does. But my favorite bits from
Then Sean Astin kills himself or something.
Yeah, that was my favorite bit. I just chucked up a deuce if you were wondering what I was doing just then while I was silent. No, my favorite bits from Stranger Things 3 were the Steve Harrington and
He's the guy with the good hair, isn't he?
yeah, well, he kind of got dethroned last season, right? From like Nancy
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
He became a good character.
Yeah, no, and he's really good in this. Like, I really like his, I don't know, the adventure he goes on and like the plot progression, like the character, not plot progression, sorry, the plot progression's silly, but the character progression and like the bonds he forms with like the characters that he like is with this season. So it's very cool.
You should make a spin-off show just called Steve.
Yeah, Steve the Hair Harrington.
I'd watch that. And he teams up with
Starring-
Dustin.
Yeah, he hangs out with Dustin and Uma Thurman's daughter.
Does Dustin still have a lisp?
Yes,
Cool.
because he has teeth now though, which is cool.
I can't.
You can't pretend not to have teeth because you have them. No, but yeah, no, because Uma Thurman's daughter, Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's daughter.
Yeah, we're talking about this before, and I didn't know they had a daughter
Her
together.
name's Maya Hawke, I think. But no, she's in that plot, like in that part with Steve Harrington. So I would love a spin-off show with those three. That'd be so good.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say it's like how I want a Rocket, Thor, and Groot show,
Yes.
where it's just them going to places to build a hammer.
That'd be so sick. Okay, which one out of the three are Rocket, Groot, and Thor?
From the Stranger Things.
Yeah, three of them. I
Well-
feel like Steve is
Thor,
Thor,
and Rocket is
Gatton, Matarazzo. Oh,
and
it's
Uma
Dustin.
Thurman is Groot,
Yeah,
or whatever her name is.
because her character's a lesbian.
Oh, I just like Groot.
Yeah, exactly.
Groot had a family, I'm pretty sure.
He's dead.
Exactly. That makes it sad.
Yeah. Groot's dead.
I don't think he said in the movie, but I'm pretty sure he's meant to have a family.
That's so sad.
I hope that's in the third when they go to Groot's home planet. And they find
they're
his like wife.
Where's Dad? Oh no.
But then they adopt teenage Groot.
Yeah.
Or maybe he'll be adult Groot by that time. And they'll be like, oh, it's my husband. And he'll be like, what?
Yeah.
I'm Groot? And
I
they'll be
am
like,
Groot.
no, you're my husband. He'll be like, what?
It'll be the whole Star-Lord and Gamora thing, but like not really.
Oh, yeah, they've already done that.
Yeah.
Whoops.
They've already done that when you realise. Anyway.
What if Guardians 3 is bad?
Dutch.
Because Endgame messed it up.
Endgame messed up all the movies. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's the thing with these movies. Is like they focus on making that movie, but then it affects all the other movies.
All the other movies, and then, yeah.
Which, like, they do plan it, but at the same time, it's like, they can't just make a story they want to tell because it has to tie into everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm just imagining Far From Home without all the Endgame tie-ins, and it would have been much cleaner.
That's what I was saying before, like, when I was talking to Josh about Far From Home, and, like, I was justifying to him, like, everything I thought, and, like, it made sense to him in the end, because I was like, I literally said the exact same thing. Imagine Far From Home, but it didn't have all, like, the plot heaviness. It, like, still had to, like, carry on from, like, Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's stop talking about Far From Home.
Yes, comic segment.
Yay.
Spidey recap of the week. It's the comics that we read. Week to week, 2 of them. I did one, Sammy did the other one. Here it is. This is issue 75, released in... How do you find out where it's released in? I'm doing this for Thomas. August 10th.
You got it?
1969. This one's called Death Without Warning. And it's picking up from last week's one that Sammy covered. I forget what happened in it.
That sounds like you're about to sing a song, and this one's called Death Without Warning.
This one's called Death Without Warning. I don't know how to play
You're
that
playing
song.
ragtime.
Look, it's called Death Without Warning, and who dies? Find out soon. It's pretty funny.
What?
It sounds messed up when I say that now, but when I explain it, you'll be like, that's funny.
J. Jonah Jameson dies.
He already died once.
Yeah.
No, he just went into a coma. Now Spider-Man's swinging around, and he's like, I've got to find Dr. Connors. I know that he and his family are in deadliest danger because they're all tied up in the Magia thing.
Oh,
remember,
God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, remember
the Magia.
They got Doc Connors to, what they do? They got him to look at the tablet because it had this ancient code on it.
Probably.
Because it unlocked the Fountain of Youth or something.
The Fountain
something like that. Not the Fountain of Youth, but it unlocked.
Like the Juice of Youth or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Like
I don't know how.
Youth potion, basically.
Don't know how that was in a tablet.
No, it was a recipe for it.
Yeah, but I don't know how that was.
They
Anyways,
should have called it a recipe for disaster.
anyways, they had a recipe for youth on a tablet,
Disaster.
so they got Dr. Connors to look at it, but they also kidnapped his family. That's what happened, right?
Yes. Yeah, you
because
got it.
I couldn't remember your comic from last week, but
Were you even listening, bro?
I listened back and I was listening,
Yay.
but I forget stuff. I forgot mine as well.
No, I forget very easily.
Probably because they weren't very good, Stan. Up
Oh,
your game, mate. Maybe kill off one of Spider-Man's loved ones by throwing them off a bridge. Maybe that will pick up the readers.
well, you never know. We should keep reading to find out.
Yeah, we won't though because of our plan.
Oh,
we won't get to that.
yeah, we won't.
You guys will find out the plan somewhere down the line.
We won't tell you right now because we don't want to hurt your feelings.
Or make them better.
Yeah.
No, we've got plans to continue on in a different way, kind of, don't we?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they'll be around still after we do what we're going to do to the Earth.
Oh, well, look, we'll keep a little shuttle, kind of like a Noah's Ark situation, but
yeah.
just of the listeners.
Okay.
So it's
only the people who listen.
So it's like us and 5 other people.
Nice. All right.
And every night we do the Peter Palmer podcast live for them as they go to sleep.
That's cool. That's economical. I like it.
Yeah. Anyways, this comic, Spider-Man Swinging, he's trying to find where Man Marco is. And Triple M, we call him.
I love this, Man Marco.
And he's looking at the high crime areas until his spidey sense goes off. And
he always does this. He does this every...
Yeah, no, it's such a lazy thing.
Yeah.
Maybe people complain about the gadgets and they're like, Spider-Man should just figure it out himself. And it's like, fine, spidey sense.
Yeah. But now they've got iPhones, so...
Yeah. I did like that bit in Spider-Man Homecoming where he leaves his phone in Vulture's car so he can track it.
Yes, he can track it. That's so cool.
Good. It gave Ned something to do in the third act.
Yeah.
Rather than be like, oh.
And how he finds where MJ and stuff are because of Flash's live stream.
Right, they did a similar thing, didn't they?
Yeah.
But not quite.
No.
It didn't give other characters things to do.
No, it just...
MJ picked up a thing, then didn't use it.
Gave Flash a thing to do. Weirdly enough.
Live stream.
He's got a tragic character.
Spidey finds this crime stuff. And these criminals are like, oh, yeah, there's some dude in the window. It's Spider-Man. Spider-Man grabs these dudes. And then he's like, talk fast, group, before my arms get tired. I'm looking for the Magia. And they're instantly like, yeah, we'll tell you anything. Just get us back inside, please. Stop dangling us off, a building.
Okay, we got families, asshole.
Yeah, and Spider-Man's like, but I don't want to know anything. Just one little itty-bitty address. And they're like, it's right across the Galby building. And he's like, sick, mate.
The Gotti building.
Galby, not John Gotti.
Not John
But maybe John Gotti could tie into this somehow, because he's a New York crime mob guy.
Around this time. Yeah.
Should we watch Gotti?
No, we shouldn't.
There's a funny video on it by Ralph the Movie Maker.
I'll watch it.
It's pretty good. He does good videos, even though I disagree with him a lot of the time. Have you ever watched a Ralph the Movie Maker?
No.
He's very funny.
You should link me his channel.
Yes. All his videos are like half an hour long because he goes like, not in depth, but he just like tears apart like a movie.
Oh.
Yeah. And he does like little sketches and stuff that are fun.
I like your sketch, Thomas. Your Hangover 3.
Oh yeah. This is just a message for Thomas listening. I should send me your Hangover Part 3 thing.
I'm actually ready to learn Norwegian just so I can understand the context of that.
It's pretty funny.
I don't know what you're saying, but I know it's funny.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
We knew that bit.
And sock. I don't
sock.
know, but I just remember sock, and that's really funny. I literally nearly died.
Anyway, Spider-Man's got this address now, and we cut to the address, and Triple M is he's shaking some guy. I think it's Dr. Connors. I couldn't tell for a second.
Oh, okay.
And he's shaking Dr. Connors, and he's like, "Oi, you killed the Silvermane, mate." And Dr. Connors is like, "No, I didn't. Look behind you." And he's like, "What? That's not Silvermane." And he's like, "You fool, I used the secret of eternal youth."
Bro.
And you look at Silvermane, and he just looks like Reed Richards now.
He does.
He's
even
like,
the hair.
He's like, can't you see I just have the same face as Silvermane, but younger? And I was like, not really.
Yeah,
Silvermane
no.
looked like an actual gorilla.
Yeah, he
This looks like Reed Richards.
He does. Look at the hair.
Yeah.
Silver.
So it's like middle-aged
sideburns.
Silverman.
Yeah.
Still got big hands though.
Hey, maybe that ties in. Maybe middle-aged, silver, whatever it is, Reed Richards.
Oh God, no, he can't be because you'll see.
Okay. Okay. What?
So Triple M's like, oi, you must be some sort of phony or something because nobody can be 40 years younger just on account of some nutty formula. It's always got to be a nutty formula. Yeah, put some hazelnuts and some trail mix in there. It's a bit of a nutty formula. If you're allergic to
nuts, this podcast is not safe for you.
Yeah, because at our live shows, we get peanut butter.
And we fling it at
and we smear it on the chairs.
Ew.
Then we fling it at the audience.
It's horrible.
It's just a peanut butter time.
Peanut butter jelly time.
Anyways, Silvermane's like, oi, just look at me. I'm the Silvermane. Just look. But as this is happening, we see Dr. Connor's wife and son. They're in some room with some other crime dude. And they're like, hey, I warn you, Mr. Cicero. Oh, it's Mr. Cicero. Caesar Cicero. CC. And she's like, I warn you, Mr. Cicero, if any harm happens to my husband. And he's like, shut up, both of you. And, yeah, basically Caesar Cicero's, he walks in on Silvermane and Triple M and he's like, wait, what the fuck? How'd this dude get really young? This is madness, he says. And they have a bit of an argument. Silvermane beats up Triple M for some reason. Because something. Yeah, pretty much he's like, they don't believe him still. They're like, you're not Silvermane. He's like, I am. Look, I can beat you up with my fists. And then Silvermane is like, I am the leader. Wait, that is why I'm the leader, sorry. Why I shall ever be the leader. Now that the secret of the tablet is mine, I shall stay young and strong forever. He is a leader, yeah, the battle angel. Sorry, I heard you all 4 times, you said.
Shut up.
Yeah, he slaps these dudes around. He's pretty much just repeating himself in different ways, going like, I am the Silvermane. Look at me. I'm the best. I'm so cool. I'm the Silvermane. We see a close-up on his face. He's like looking real scary, but Triple M's like, yeah, okay, sure, you're the Silvermane. Just shut up, please.
Please stop, please. He lost his sideburns, his silver sideburns.
And then, yeah, Triple M's like, wait, what's happening? This can't seem possible. It's just like a clock is moving backwards. So we just spent 3 pages establishing, yeah, he's aging backwards. Like, we get it.
He's Benjamin Buttoning.
Yeah.
He literally is.
I was holding out for that reference.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. It's gonna happen sooner or later because I want to call this episode Spider-Man vs. Benjamin Button.
Spider-Man versus Benjamin Button.
But anyways, just speak of the devil and he shall smash through a window. Spider-Man has done that. And he's like, look, I knew I'd find you sooner or later. Is that the saying? Sooner or later? I thought it was sooner than later.
No, it's sooner or later. Sooner or later I find him.
Sooner or later.
Yeah.
It sounds like one word. Sooner or later. So, yeah, Spider-Man, he finds them, starts slapping him around. And he's like, I want Dr. Connors. If anything happens to him or his family. And they're like, shut up. Let's punch instead.
Shut up.
So Triple M goes to swing at Spider-Man. Spider-Man grabs him by the coat. And he's like, wait, you think you're a match for me, mate? Probably not. And so he tosses Triple M. And Triple M's like, ow, that hurt.
Oh, that hurt.
Then Spidey turns around and he's like, wait, that's the Silvermane. He looks even younger than he did a couple minutes ago. So at this point, he looks like Peter Parker, actually.
Oh my God, he does.
So I'm pretty sure John Romita can draw 3 faces.
Absolutely only 3 kinds of faces.
It looks like Peter Parker with thicker eyebrows.
Yeah, and like a different nose.
A little bit. Oh, it's a low angle, though, if you look at this one.
Okay, yeah, that's Peter Parker's face with thicker eyebrows.
But yeah, Silverman's loving this. He's like, yes, I'm getting so young. I'm in my prime. This is when I was like top of my game in peak physical performance. And we see Dr. Connors hiding around a corner. He's like, oh, I don't know where Spider-Man came from, but this is my chance to escape. Because pretty much he's like, They made me create that potion from the recipe on that tablet.
Potion, lotion, a little commotion.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Dr. Connors is like, but when the Magyar finds out what I really did with that formula,
No.
look, they're not going to have a good time and they're going to come after me. And just as Dr. Connors is monologuing, he turns into the lizard. And he's like, no, I mustn't think of, if the change occurs, I mustn't even think of it, not with my wife and son so near. Lizard has no memory or feelings of love for them. So he's just explaining, like, once he's the lizard, you know, he's a monster. Yeah. He can't remember stuff about being Dr. Connors. So he turns into a lizard and he starts slapping around some goons and runs away pretty much. That's the last we see of him for now. And yeah, we see his son and wife. They're still inside some room. They're like, what's going on out there? We can't be stuck in here for too long. Goons are slapping each other because they're like, wait, why are you all idiots? Why are we all idiots? Then Spider-Man's still punching these guys. And he's fighting Silvermane, but Silvermane's in his prime for the moment. But, you know, he's getting younger and younger by the second, so Spider-Man gets the upper hand. He flings him.
Wait, does he start beating up a child soon?
Look, you'll see.
Oh, God.
Then all these goons are hiding in another room, and they're like, all right, let's get ready to jump Spider-Man. You know, anything that moves, we shoot it. And they're like, now. And Spider-Man expects them, so he's swooping around, kicking them, punching them. And then Caesar Cicero walks in. He's like, "Wait, boss, come on, get up!" And he grabs him. And he's like, "What? This is madness!" And it's a child.
What can I see?
He's like, "With every heartbeat, I grow younger and younger."
Oh my God! What the fuck?
But where will it end? And his clothes are really big. And
he's got baggy clothes. It's like that reminds me of Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, he's like, I got the voice of a teenager. My body is getting slimmer and weaker and smaller. And he looks in the mirror. He's like, oh no. How scary would that be?
That would be terrifying.
There's an episode of Futurama like that, where they would jump into like a pool.
Oh yeah,
and they would turn into babies.
Yeah.
And Zoidberg gets stuck and he goes through like several evolutions of being a crab. He turns into coral at some point or something. Like, why do you turn into coral?
Like, those like something pods are called like metapods or something.
Yeah.
Isopod.
Anyway, Spider-Man slaps around the goons. He knocks them all out. And he's like, wait, I hear sobbing, like a child sobbing. What's this? And he goes into a room. And this is so sad. He just sees a pile of clothes.
No, he did not turn into a baby.
We don't see it.
Aw.
But Spider-Man's like, Silvermane found the youth he sought, and the prize will be his forever.
Wait, did he disappear?
He did. He got so young, he just disappeared.
He just ceased to exist.
Yep.
He literally Benjamin Buttoned.
Yep, within 10 minutes.
That's so scary.
I want to see this in a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, me too.
Spider-Man versus the Silvermane. And this is going to be the last appearance of the Silvermane, right? There's no way.
It has to be. There's no way.
So let's fact check that, but...
Yeah, Thomas, try and fact check this.
This is the last appearance of the Silvermane. Maybe they brought him into Ultimate Universe, but...
I doubt it. For some reason. I highly doubt that.
I miss the Enforcers. Why didn't they bring those guys back?
Yeah.
The Big Man.
Yeah.
Fancy Dan, Montana, and Ox.
I can't believe you remember their names.
Hey, how could you not? They're the best.
Sure. I like the Big Man. He's my favorite.
I like Montana. He's got a lasso.
Oh, that's sick. It reminds me of Kingsman, the Secret Service.
And Big Man was Jameson's mate. What was his name? We loved that guy.
He had a cool, whatever happened to him?
What was his name? Frederick Foswell?
Yeah, what happened to
Dr. Foswell?
Yeah.
Was it Frederick Foswell? Something like that.
Something like that. Whatever happened to that guy?
Maybe he died. I can't remember.
I don't remember what happened.
Oh, I think he did. Because I remember we're like, oh no, Foswell, he's gone.
I don't remember.
I remember something like that. Like something happened to him. We're like, oh, that's sad. I liked him.
Well, he's gone. So.
Anyways, we're nearing the end of the issue. Spider-Man's like, wow, that secret was way too dangerous and deadly for any man to possess. I can't believe that was in hieroglyphics on a tablet. That's madness.
That's straight madness, bruv.
And he's looking for Mrs. Connors and her son. He's like, oh, over here. He just his head butts through a fucking wall.
What the fuck?
And he finds them, and they're like, "Oh, great! Spider-Man's here to save us." And they're like, "Where's my husband?" That's pretty much what she's like.
What doesn't Tom Holland say that?
Yeah, it's just something like that.
Where's my husband?
Where's my husband? And Spidey's like, "Look, I don't know. I don't know how to explain
Look,
it.
I don't know. I don't care.
The Magier's power has been stripped away for good, though, because
He's literally ceased to exist.
he aged backwards. He Benjamin Buttoned himself. But then Miss Connors is like, but what about my husband? What happened to him? And then we see what happened to him. He's the lizard. He's smashing up walls and stuff. And he's like, the lizard was born to fight and attack. The lizard must not think of nothing else. But deep beneath it went out of it. Deep beneath the bestial exterior, the essence of Dr. Connors struggles for reason. So you see like the lizard's face and like Dr. Connors is inside. He's like, no, listen to me now.
Listen to me now.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it says, only the beast remains, the lizard lives is next. Good.
Nice.
Was that good? I liked it because
like the
a man
Benjamin
got
Button.
Benjamin buttoned.
That's sick. I've never seen that in a comic before. I like
what,
that.
you never read Benjamin Button, the graphic novel?
What?
No.
Okay, I was like, sorry.
The adaptation?
It's called Adaptation.
Spit take. I didn't want to actually spit though.
The Amazing Spider-Man issue 76, published on the 10th of September 1969. It's called The Lizard
sick.
Lives. And we start off with the lizard bursting
It
through
was
a
like
wall.
50 years ago.
Kool-Aid Man style. Just literally. And I don't know why I think this, but I think the lizard has a cute looking like
looks
animal
like a goanna.
face. Yeah, he does. But the rest of his body's really grotesque, so...
I wish he looked like that in the film. Where's the snout? Did he used to have the snout in the first appearances of him? I don't think he did.
No.
I think he evolved to have a snout.
I like that.
Snout look is my favorite lizard look.
Because he looks like a gator.
In the movie, he had like a humanoid face, and I didn't like it.
I hated that. So gross.
He looked like
a Muppet.
Yeah, from the Super Mario Brothers movie, the Goobers or whatever they were called.
Nice, I farted.
Nice. I hope they picked that up on the audio.
Yoda. Nothing can stop the lizard. I must be free. Free to run and climb and leap. Free to vent my burning rage against the human... I can't speak. Burning rage against the human race. Especially against the ones I despise the most. Spider-Man. This one was innovated by Big John Buscema. Authored by Smiling Stanley.
Or John Buscema, not John Romita.
No, John Buscema.
I like him. He did the book How to Draw the Marvel Way.
Really?
Yeah, with Stanley. Stanley does the bits where he's like, "Oh yeah, you want to draw? Do it like this." And John Buscema did the pictures.
Nice.
We did a video series of it as well. I remember seeing that on YouTube. It was all
Really?
scuffed and like in VHS quality, but it was like Stanley in the 70s being like, "Hey, look, it's John Buscema draw. This is how you do it."
I love that. I want to watch it.
Yeah, I hope they're still up. I'll try and find it.
Why would they take it down?
Well, that happens. Whenever I try to look for an old YouTube video I used to watch, it's not there.
Why?
Big yawn.
Day at the Park. What is it called? The first YouTube video?
Oh, yeah. I came across that recently. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, oh, this is that video.
You thought you were just being suggested like a random YouTube video?
Yeah, I was like, what's this? And I looked at the upload date and I was like, oh, it's that.
Okay.
Lizard lives. What's he doing?
So the lizard's been lizard. He's climbing on buildings and smashing through things. Then he starts to think about how he wants to defeat Spider-Man and how last time he tricked him. And how he believes that two faces seem to haunt him and try and hold his full power back. But he's not too sure who they are. They grow dimmer with every passing second. And obviously it's his wife and son.
I can't believe the movie just didn't include his wife and son.
His family at all.
Part of every lizard story.
Exactly. They just removed
Yeah, I watched
them.
a snippet of the 60s episode about the lizard. And even that had his wife and son in it. That's like a 15-minute episode.
I find farting extremely funny.
Whoa. You should watch Adam Sandler films.
Seth
That's
Rogen
the basis
films,
of most
don't
of
you
the...
mean?
Those don't have fart jokes. It's just weed jokes.
Yeah, true.
And Jewish jokes.
Yeah, you're right. And like sex jokes.
Pretty much.
That's all okay.
What was I saying about the 60s cartoon? Oh, yeah, he
Yeah.
fights like Australian stereotypes, even though I don't think he's in Australia. But he fights like these dudes, these hunter guys, and like, oi, that's the Spider-Man.
Why are
like,
they in
what?
Australia?
Yeah.
Anyway.
And he literally makes a web boat.
Oh, is
like
it?
a web jet boat out of his webs. He's like,
Wait, weren't you like Snapchatting me this the other day?
yeah, I sound like a photo of him. Because Spider-Man's like, I know how to get out of here. And he goes, and he just makes a jet boat. I don't know how it made a jet.
Oh, yeah, true. You would have to like make a motor
an engine.
and an
Yeah,
engine
motor.
out of...
And it made noise like
out of
his webs. I'm like, okay.
Anyway, so yeah, the Lizard's like, this time I won't let Spider-Man trick me. Last time, which was issue 45, if you remember correctly.
Oh, it's been that long? Wow. I didn't miss him.
I'm tired. Yeah, Spider-Man made him go in the freezer, and obviously because the Lizard's cold-blooded, he defeated him that way. But anyway, he looks over New York City, goes, I'll find him, I'll get him, and I'll kill that motherfucker. Meanwhile, on that very cheery note, we'll have to change our scene as we quickly zero in on the Lizard's victim-to-be, Spider-Man. So Spider-Man just got out of a cab.
Oh. Wait, where is he coming from? Or going?
He's with... Lizard's family, taking them back to their place.
So he's just in a cab as Spider-Man?
Yeah,
That's funny.
with them.
It reminds me of the elevator in Spider-Man 2.
Yes, I love that scene. I want to see the uncut version.
It's really long.
Anyway, so he goes to pay for the cab, but the guy's like, a lousy 20 cents? I could have got that from anybody. But Spider-Man's like, sorry, guy. I don't have money.
I thought he was going to say I don't have pockets.
I thought he was going to say that, but then I'm reading it. It's like, tell us superheroes to get unionized and then I'll pay you.
Civil War.
Yeah. Anyway, so he makes sure that they're okay and they're back in their like apartment or in a hotel or whatever to make sure they're safe. And yeah, the mom's really distraught, but the kid's like, it's not Dad's fault, Mom. He can't help it. He's the Lizard. And she's like, well, perhaps we should have returned to Florida. We can't desert him, though.
To Florida.
Florida. But Spider-Man says, you know what, Mrs. Connors, I promise that I'll do everything I can for him. But as he's like, saying this, his wife is like, but I don't want you to hurt him and I'm afraid you might kill him and stuff. But so Spider-Man makes a really tough promise to make and he says, I promise no harm will come to your husband as he swings away.
Boom, 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 boom.
Thus, minutes later, Peter's at home getting dressed. And he says, I can't take the Lizard till I see Gwendy again, just in case it may be the last time ever. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So
They started planting the seeds of the foreshadowing this early.
Yeah, literally. Oh, my God. So he picks up the phone. He's like, well, before I go see Gwen, I better call Aunt May. She hasn't heard from me in a while, and she's still on holiday. So he calls her, and she picks up straight away. She goes, oh, Peter, dear, you all right? Why haven't you called?
At least he's calling them now.
Yeah,
Remember last
exactly.
week he was too tired to do anything?
Yeah, he just, slept.
Like that Ed Sheeran song that we made up. You remember that? You don't listen back to the episodes. You're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Because there was this piece of dialogue was like, I could have called Gwen, but I'm too tired. Could have called May, but I'm too tired.
Oh, yeah, could have called Gwen, but yeah, sorry. We're going to just do that bit again.
No.
So, yeah, May's very worried, but Pete's like, don't worry about me, May. You enjoy your holiday. And May says, be sure to get enough sleep, dear, and take your vitamin pills. You know how easily you catch cold.
Eat your green vegetables.
Eat your green vegetables. So, yeah, he notices as he's hanging up with Aunt May that Harry's coming up. So he quickly says hi to him, and he's like, you still sporting your new Fu Manchu, huh?
Oh, God.
God. And Harry's like, yeah, I am. It may not turn you on, but it drives Mary Jane mad.
What?
I know. It doesn't make any sense. I hate it. But Pete's like, excuse me, I gotta go see Gwen. So he's heading out. He's on the streets thinking about everything that's wrong, and he sees Gwen, and they have a romantic, I guess, conversation. So Gwen's like, I don't know what's changed with you these past few weeks, Peter, unless you've simply found someone new and can't bring yourself to tell me. And Peter reassures her, like, no, Gwen, that isn't so, blah, blah, blah. And Gwen's like, well, then what is your secret, Peter Parker? What is the thing you won't speak of that keeps us apart? And Pete says, damn it, Gwen, I want to tell you. I want to more than anything else in the whole crazy world, but this isn't the time or place.
You're Spider-Man. It's kind of obvious.
You're Spider-Man.
Every modern day version.
Yeah, literally. We know you're Spider-Man.
I blame Ultimate Spider-Man for all these things.
No, definitely. Ultimate Spider-Man.
Issue 13 of Ultimate Spider-Man, he's like, hey, MJ, I'm Spider-Man. She's like, oh, nice.
And then they basically have sex.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Aunt May's like, no hanky-panky.
No hanky-panky, they do hanky-panky.
It's a good issue, though. He doesn't dress up as Spider-Man the whole thing.
No, yeah. It makes me want to read more of Ultimate Spider-Man, talking about it. Anyway, so he's like...
I can mention the bad bits to turn you off of it. I can mention the... Actually, no, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it is. I like it. I mean, it's what I grew up with.
I don't like the character designs of a lot of the villains.
Green Goblin.
Yeah,
just
that's
a
weird.
big old moss. He's like,
Rhino. That's where they got the robot Rhino from.
Yeah.
From Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's where they got. That's why they cast Paul Giamatti. Because when I was looking at the Ultimate Spider-Man game, I was like, oh yeah, he's kind of like a tiny guy with a big head, just in a robot suit.
I'm the Rhino.
Electro's design in Ultimate Spider-Man, he's wearing like a V-neck, but the V is in the shape of an electric bolt.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
And he's bald.
And blue.
Yeah. Oh, he's blue when he's like fully charged.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Ultimate Spider-Man, if you're wondering any weird decision made in a Spider-Man movie, probably Ultimate Spider-Man's fault. Because they did the whole Richard Parker thing where he was working on a cure for cancer. Yeah, and that turns out to be the symbiote.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Why isn't it just a space alien?
Well, because obviously
why'd they make a goop that's the cure for cancer?
Can't do that again. Also, like, Norman Osborn is really weird in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics.
Yeah, he's like, keep tabs on this Peter Parker kid. I want to kill him.
Yeah, instantly,
and
like straight away.
Amazing Spider-Man got that idea from that they cut.
Yeah.
Where Oscorp was keeping tabs on Peter.
Mm.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, so, hey, but like, Into the Spider-Verse is Ultimate Spider-Man, and that's still good.
Yeah, but it's Miles Morales.
Miles Morales.
It's Miles Morales and
Ultimate Spider-Man.
But he dies.
Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man dies.
Then 616 Spider-Man comes in, who's everyone's fave.
Yeah.
He's the OG.
He's the orange.
Yeah, the porridge.
He's the orange porridge.
I wish we'd get more aged up Spideys in the movies. Sick of seeing teenage kid. No, it's good, but we've seen it so many times now.
I want Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, but old. Anyway, in the very next room, I agree with you, Robbie. Spider-Man is no more than a menace to society than we are. Says, what's his name? Not J. Jonah Jameson.
Nada.
Gwen Stacy's father. Because they're at Gwen's house, obviously. Captain
What's his
Stacy.
first name?
Captain.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, his name's Captain Stacy.
That's where we hear it in the movie.
John Stacy.
Yeah, let's call him John Stacy.
John Stacy. So John Stacy, speaking to Robbie Robertson again about Spider-Man's identity and how they're kind of obsessed with it at this point. Like, they never stop talking about Spider-Man. So yeah, they enter the room where Gwen and Pete are, and they're like, oh, hey, Peter, good to see you, son. We've been wondering where you were. Say, you might be able to help us because you've taken more photos of Spider-Man than anyone else. And Pete's like, oh, yeah, I guess I have. And he's like, well, do you have anything you can tell us about him? Any particular speech impediments or mannerisms? And Gwen's like, Dad, Peter came to see me. Don't annoy him. And he's like, oh, sorry, daughter. And Pete's just like, pulling out his collar because he's a bit nervous about this whole thing. And as the pair leave, not Gwen and Pete, but John Stacy and Robbie, they're like, well, let us know if you have any information about Spider-Man. So Pete's like, yes, I will, sir. First chance I get. But now, even since a wall crawler and his girlfriend deserve some privacy, we'll leap ahead to the next morning where we find, Peter just jumping out of bed, throwing his sheets off. That news bulletin. It's what I was waiting for. Okay, lizard, this is it. So the radio's saying, scaly-skinned madman throws cities into east side morning early... Scaly-skinned madman throws city's east side into early morning panic. Police caution residents to stay indoors. So he quickly puts his Spidey suit on and starts to swing around. Sorry. My mouth is really dry. So he runs into the lizard straight away pretty much, and he's throwing cars around acting like a fucking terrorist. And he's like, oh, one thing about big old Liz, when he goes into action, he's not hard to find.
Where's he throwing cars?
In the street.
Just in the street?
Yeah, just...
Not on a bridge?
No, just on the street. Just chilling.
Okay.
And yeah, so he asks those dudes where the lizard went, because he kind of ran away. There's like just street dudes on the street, civilians. They're like, oh, he went over there on the rooftop. So he goes up there, he goes to swing, and then all of a sudden, zick, something sliced my webbing, and he starts to fall. And it was the lizard. He goes, how easy that was. Just one simple slash. Spider-Man's like,
why does he do that?
and that's the sound of him falling.
Oh, I thought he was like making that noise.
No, that's the sound of him falling. But he quickly webs himself to the building and saves himself, obviously. And
I thought he was gonna
Lizard
die.
and Spidey have a big old punch. Spidey, tries to catch him and body slam him without hurting him and all this. So basically the whole fight is like Spidey being, oh, I can't hurt Lizard, I can't hurt him, I promised his family. But he's got really tough...
What happened to that antidote he created in issue 6?
Yeah, I don't know, hey. I don't.
Make more of that. Turn it into like a dart gun.
And just go...
Just bring it. Yep.
Yeah.
Lizard's back. I want to see a version of Spider-Man where he's got the perfect gadget for each villain.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Lizard's back in town, I'm going to get the lizard dart.
Done. Oh, Green Goblin's back. I better...
Call Harry.
Call Harry in MJ.
I better be prepared to dodge out of the way when he's an idiot.
And then make him hit himself in the nuts. And then
in the balls.
die instantly, because I can't imagine how much that would hurt.
It would. He's like, oh. I think getting hit that quick in any part of your body would kill you.
Yeah.
Maybe not your feet.
Maybe not, but you would bleed enough through your feet, because that's like all the blood goes out that way. Like
they edit that bit out of the TV version.
Yeah, you said that.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I don't know if you said it on the podcast, so.
It always bugged me when I was a kid and Spider-Man would be on TV. It would just go, oh. Then it would cut to him going, don't tell Harry. And it's like, what?
What?
You don't see him get hit.
What?
I think it goes, oh. And it cuts to Spider-Man going like shook. And it cuts back to him just being like, don't tell Harry.
Oh, that's it?
And the scene ends. I'm like, oh, hang on.
Yeah, what the hell?
I guess that is pretty violent, isn't it?
I guess, yeah.
I watched that pretty young.
Hey, can I borrow your Futurama DVDs?
Yeah, do it.
Nice.
That's like the first most seasons.
I was about to say, there's a lot there, so...
Yeah. I haven't seen past that because I forgot. I didn't find out they made new seasons till like a few years ago.
Nice.
When it ended. And I was like, oh, they kept it going?
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Spider-Man and the Lizard are batting each other up, and there's multiple times where he tries to web him up, but Lizard...
You're bumping the cable and it's like moving your microphone.
Oh, God. Lizard just is scuffed. Lizard's using his strength to kind of get him back. And the way that Spidey ends up finally defeating the Lizard, does he? I don't know. He lets the Lizard dangle him off the building and makes the Lizard feel like he won. And all the civilians at the, bottom are like, oh my God, look up there, it's the Lizard. He's got Spider-Man. He's about to drop him. And he's like, I'm going to kill you, Spider-Man. So he lets go and Spider-Man starts falling to his death. But it's all part of this plan that he's going to, get away from the rooftop because he has an advantage there. But before he can execute his plan, someone shows up. Guess who it is?
Black Cat.
No, it's the Human Torch.
The Human Torch.
It's the Human Torch, aka Johnny Storm. Swoops in, saves the day, I say with air quotations.
Oh, that's annoying.
I know, yeah. So he
I bet
grabs
Spider-Man's
him.
real happy about that.
He's really not. It's the good old Parker luck there. Of course, like, as he's about to, like, execute his plan, someone...
This is literally Spider-Man Homecoming when Iron Man sweeps in.
Yeah, literally. If you really cared, you'd actually be here.
Oh my god.
I was waiting for that. Yeah, so literally, the Human Torch, aka Johnny Storm, grabs him, saves him, air quotation marks, and drops him back on the rooftop where the lizard is, and that's the end of the issue. And Spider-Man's like, "Dang it!"
Spider-Man's like, "Yes, I'm off the roof."
Yeah.
And Johnny Storm's like, "Oh, I've got your back, buddy. I'm putting you back on the roof."
Yeah, so we can fight the lizard together. And he's like,
"No, you ruined my plan."
Yeah, literally. He's like, "This is exactly where I didn't want to be." Somehow.
So Johnny Storm's not going to help out. He's just like, "Yeah, you do it."
We don't know yet. That's for next issue.
Maybe they team up.
Yeah.
Cool. I prefer the one where he fought Benjamin Button.
Yeah, me too. I like that one.
And the one where he didn't fight the lizard. He just chased after him for a bit.
Yeah.
Then they kind of fought, and then it ended.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fan mail segment. Did we get fan mail? We probably didn't, but let's find out right now. Hey, fan mail segment, aka Thomas Tweets. This is the segment where we read messages we got in our social media, but it's mainly just Thomas of Filmcos.
Thomas of Filmcos.
And he tweeted in quite a few things this week, let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
In relation to last week's episode, he said, "Good job again, boy and girl."
Yeah, thank you.
You got me through these okay issues.
Yeah, I agree.
It's true. I don't even remember what happened in them. He fought...
There was a Magia stuff.
Fought Marco.
It was more of the tablet saga. That's why we don't remember.
Yeah, and your one is they got Dr. Connors to make a formula.
Back to formula.
And he said, "I accept your apology. I don't listen ironically. Seriously. Nah. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. Yeah? Question mark. That's what he said.
Well, that was ironic, obviously. So thanks for that, I suppose. I'm even more confused than I was
But
before.
he doesn't listen ironically. That's the point. Or does he? Because he said, nah.
Yeah.
He said, "If Tom Holland offers you lotion, do not accept."
Well, I disagree with you because if Tom Holland right now was
Dimension C, Tom Holland.
Dimension C, Tom Holland. Yeah, sorry.
He's running amok, causing a lot of commotion.
Yeah. With a lot of lotion.
Look, I haven't heard anything on the news, but...
yeah, this is a PSA that Thomas is trying to give the rest of the world.
Yeah.
If Tom Holland offers you guys lotion, do not accept.
Yeah, so... Jeez, I hope he does this really, really in secret. I hope he doesn't make a lot of commotion like he says he will.
Yeah, well, that was like what we asked him not to do, so,
He kind of just ran off, didn't he?
Yeah.
I wonder how French Mac and Robert Sammy are going finding him.
God. Here
we sent them off, and we sent off Tom Holland.
This is fine.
What if they bump into each other?
Oh, Jesus. I
guess we'll find out whenever they decide to pop in next.
Yeah.
Thomas also said, "There are no limits to your imagination," which I don't know what that was in relation to.
Yeah, I'm not too sure myself either.
I think... what did we say last week? Must have been something near the end, because this was his last tweet of that string. Oh, I remember.
Yes.
Because I listened back recently. We asked him if there is a character limit to an email, like username.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. We asked him directly. Yeah.
He says there's no limits to your imagination. So thank you. That didn't answer my question, but...
I like how we're just using him as Google, but it's like a Google that takes 1 week to get the answer for.
Yeah, the slowest Google of all time.
Yeah.
And he sent us some stuff pretty recent as well, other than the one we read before, because that wasn't a tweet. That was just a DM. He sent us one an hour ago. He said, "When do you think we will get another Spidey movie? I'm trying to reel it in after that post-credits."
Not for another couple of years at least.
Yeah, I reckon
3 or 4.
2021 they'll probably do another one.
Yeah, 2021.
But do you reckon, I think what he's trying to say is, like, do you reckon he'll pick up right from the ending of Far From Home?
Well, like we discussed this before. And I'm not too sure. I don't think so because there's going to be a couple movies that come out in between, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be weird if it picks up exactly after, but it's been 2 years of our time.
Well, I watched a few videos where people are talking about like what they think will happen.
Yeah.
And there's one I saw where he thinks like because they introduced the Daily Bugle as like a controversial news website.
Yeah, it's like Alex Jones's kind of thing.
He was saying like, I don't think everyone's going to believe it right off the bat. Like it'll be the conflict of the next one. Like some people are like, just Spider-Man. He's like, no, I'm not. Like it won't be everyone's just immediately like, oh yeah, he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Let's go get him. Because like when you see news articles like that, there's like people take sides these days.
Yeah, they're like, well, no,
if they go that direction with it. Well, like I was saying in our review, he could team up with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, sorry.
Played by Benedict Cabbage Patch.
I would love a third movie where it's a team up.
Yeah, same.
But that would kind of go away from the...
Honestly, I just have something to say. Like, I don't think we talk about Cabbage Patch Kids and Garbage Pail Kids enough.
Can you go on the full rant that he goes on?
Actually, it's really interesting. Benedict Cabbage Patch, his grandfather actually started Cabbage Patch Kids. And funnily enough, it's how he got into Hollywood in the first place because
I didn't think he actually remembered most of it.
Grandfather bought a lot of property in Hollywood, and he flew Benedict Cabbage Patch out to Hollywood, and he put him up in a hotel there, and he went to all these auditions, and pretty much if we didn't have Cabbage Patch Kids, we wouldn't have Dr. Strange.
I can't believe you remembered that. Sammy just got possessed by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, that's why I'm so obsessed with him, because he possesses me sometimes.
That was a weird interview, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I love it so much.
Tom Holland's just like...
Yeah, that's my favorite interview of all time. He goes in another weird rant later.
Yeah. The question wasn't even about...
Wasn't even about that. It was like...
Yeah, I can't remember. Thomas
spoiling stuff.
also asked, oh, wait. So when do we think we'll get another Spidey movie? Couple years.
At least a couple years.
Because this one's going to make $1 billion. And they'll be like, hey, John Watts, make another thing real quick before these kids are all 30 years old and we can't.
Yeah. Before we have to reboot Spider-Man again.
Yeah, they had the perfect opportunity for a time jump when they did Endgame, but they're like, nah. They're still the same age because that would ruin the whole thing we set up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's probably the only reason they did the Endgame time travel the way they did, where it's like people return the same age.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, they've started franchises that they want to continue, and it would just ruin them if they all got Captain America.
Be weird, yeah. Because if everyone got Captain America, or no, sorry, the other way around. Imagine if everyone came back from the blip, but they were they still aged somehow. Be weird.
Very, very strange, if you ask me.
Yes. Anyway, continue.
The other thing Thomas said was, also, you guys are a menace and must be stopped. And he sent a gif of J. Jonah Jameson saying, crap, mega crap.
I'm so sorry, Thomas. But you know this already. We know this too.
Yeah.
Crap, mega crap.
Do you reckon Jameson will be in the next Spider-Man? Do you reckon that's what they're setting up? Or do you think that was just a little goof?
Little cameo that they just put in there?
Because knowing these movies, that's probably just a little goof.
For fan service. Yeah, I don't know.
But if he wants to return, I think they should write him in.
Yeah, and they should make Peter work at the Daily Bugle.
They can't.
They can't now because he's been outed as Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think what they'll do is he'll appear every now and then on like news reports.
Yeah. It'll be like the whole
And Betty will work for him or something.
Yeah, that's right. Betty will work.
Betty and Ned. Because Ned works for him in the comics, right?
Yeah. It's Betty and Ned that are together in the comics, and they work at the Daily Bugle. We see them from time to time in the comics we're reading.
Maybe they give Peter some inside knowledge. And they manipulate the news reports and stuff. Maybe that's why they work for him, so they can kind of twist the stories.
Yeah, retwist them back to the truth and stuff.
I'm gonna miss the Betty news reports when they're scuffed.
Yeah, me too.
Like if she's actually like a news person and it's not
But I reckon they're going to do it in a way that's like she still acts like that, but it's like
Yeah.
a normal news report.
It's like, what's that movie? I don't know what I'm thinking of. Anyways, that's the episode. It's done, dusted, in the dust pan, and brush. You brush it in the dustpan and put it in the bin. That's this episode.
Yeah, it's a pretty good episode this week. Wait, hold on. Something's going on the TV, Mike. What is that? It's a news report. Breaking.
Oh no.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. There has been a lotion spillage at an African village. Only one person has been kidnapped.
Oh no. What's he done? Who's he kidnapped?
I don't know. It says that
It's